Since my girl been talking about fine hair clients and whatnot, a lot of people feel like they can't grow the hair. You can grow it, but how much you retain, and can you have the density that you, most people think that they can't have more dense hair. They're always comparing their hair to someone else's hair. My hair don't look like that. But what is the maximum amount of density that you can have? That depends on how active your follicles are. That depends on the hair care. That's a big part of how much length you're going to retain, how much density that you can retain. And as I was discussing, y'all come on into the room because we about to have some real talk. Our wash and go girlies, our shinglers, our the coily go, it pretty much stays in place if somebody would leave it in long enough, because my coily go is a protective style, but somebody likes to be in their hair a little bit more often than the average person that does the coily go. My coily goes will stay in 2 to 3 weeks minimum. I've had people come back in 4 weeks. I'm like, girl, I know you ain't gone 4 weeks without shampooing your hair, but they have. But so that's what makes it a true protective style. They're not doing anything, but they are moisturizing their hair. They're keeping the moisture in their hair. But when we have people that love to be in the hair as a result of being in the hair, we ain't calling no names, but we have a lot more manipulation. And so with manipulation comes some sacrifices. And so, yeah, the ends are raggedy, just a little raggedy. And so over manipulating the hair will slow down your length retention. If you are a length retention girl. Now, I just talked to her about my length retention program, put her on some new thoughts and products and whatnot. But a lot of people have questioned why I have pivoted in some respect. I'm still a curl expert. I just added to my repertoire. I'm not removing the education that I had. I've added to it to be able to do it in the best way possible to ensure healthier hair. And so that is a benefit not just to me, but for you all. And so blowing out the hair, even if it's just done once or twice a year, is of added benefit. Now, when you're a fine hair girly, you really do need more frequent trims, to be honest. And the only reason why you need more trims probably is if you are doing more manipulation. Destiny Fulfilled says, sorry I'm late. Is she fine hair as in strand size or density? She is fine hair as in strand size, and her density is actually has medium density, so she got a lot of fine strands, which is an advantage. The disadvantage that we are facing is what we're dealing with hormonal hair loss. And so when you're dealing with hormonal hair loss, this is a common thing. I'm dealing with it now. I smooth my edges down in those recession areas, because once you lose your estrogen, androgenic female or male pattern baldness can result. So you basically lose hair here, and so it makes it look like you have lower density, because you have basically lost all this hair in this area. So when we pull the hair down, there's not any hair in that area. So I hope that answers your question. So what I plan to do today, and she said the key words, I'm ready. When she said that, because I explained to her my direction and what I would like to see for her, and I would like to see her hair be more dense. So that means she's got to get a pretty good haircut. I want to take it to its thickest point. And in this front part, she has a lot more shrinkage. And I know my client, this is where we have always wanted her hair to come down in its curly state. But when she has her spring factors and her curls are gorgeous, they are beautiful. But her spring factor, her hair shrinks up, I would say 70%. She has a 70% shrinkage rate, which is a good thing when you think about the fact that you need shrinkage, elasticity in the hair. That means the hair still has strength to it. But when you're trying to have some hang time, some forehead coverage, it's not the best when you're trying to do that, because you have to grow out 3 times as much hair as anybody else because of your shrinkage. So yeah, you like it. She actually embraces her shrinkage, which is odd. For most people, they do not like it. But she would have me, can you make the back tighter? Can you coil it tighter? I'm like, girl. And see, her hair in these areas grows a little bit slower than this area. And this area seems to grow faster. Would you agree? Correct. Yes. So my goal today is to give her a good cut. She was talking about reshaping her hair, and that's what's all she came here for now. And then I was like, well, actually, because I'm going to be doing an assessment of your hair, we can shape what's left. And she was like, okay. But you know, the beauty of my clients, once I explain things to them and I give them time, some people, they ain't with the program. And those people, if you gonna hold on to some strings, I might not be the stylist for you. I'm just gonna put it out there, because I'm about growing some hair and making it look good. That's why I posed the question, is hair length a good metric for hair health? So I wanted you all to chime in on that question that I asked in the stories. So I'm gonna let you all see where we are here at the base. And she's had consistent cuts, consistent curly cuts as well, but it's just that her hair is fine. Her hair is fine. And y'all are free to ask questions, because I don't mind. So what I'm going to do is take a picture and I'm going to show her, because I don't cut until I have permission. She's given me the okay, but I always want to have clarity as to what we're doing and how we're going to proceed. And pictures don't lie. So blowing out the hair also allows the client to see. It's thin, but the reality of it is, this is just your strand size. This is how your hair grows. Let me interject right here and correct my own thinking and verbiage. Her hair does not grow like this. Her hair has become like this with manipulation. Um, so this in effect has been a need to cut it this way so we could really see what was going on with the hair. So I have to stand corrected. When you look at her hair and where I place my hand, that is exactly where we need to cut it because there is a clear line of demarcation. I did not say that initially when I was cutting her hair because it felt like the strands were a little bit more consistent. But taking a step back and looking at it, I did see thinning towards the very end, but I distinctly saw when I placed my hands where it needed to go. And according to my records, her last curly cut was around February of 2024. And so it's been quite a few months since she had her last cut. But as you can see, this evaluation, this assessment was much needed. Some splits because y'all be in your hair. If you were in a protective style, you wouldn't have nearly the amount of splitting or any of those things. But my client takes good care of her hair. Excellent care. And she don't buck the system. If I suggest it, she does it. So, as you see, I don't do a whole bunch of hee-haw with people nowadays. And you see in my earlier days, we could be tussling. I don't have the energy for that, baby. Me and this menopause be like, child, you ain't ready. Going back to the house now. And you see, even when I took it up, it's not that it's that much thicker. You see? So what cutting regimen do you recommend for us fine strand girlies? How often to get blow dry trends versus curly cuts? That is an excellent question. I love it. It depends on what your hair regimen is. What are you doing with your hair? Because if you are in your hair like my client is in her hair, then you're going to need to get trimmed more often. If you are doing a protective style, like a true protective style, that means that leaves the hair in better or at least the same condition in which you went into it, then you would need to trim it a little bit less. But if you are a wash and go girl and you're doing your hair weekly, fine hair tends to tangle very easily. And so because of that, you have to be very mindful of your detangling. Everything that you're doing with your hair, you have to be careful with this hair. And you need protein treatments. You need to make sure that you are keeping your hair built up and as strong as possible. So how often you trim is based on your hair care regimen and your styling. I hope that answers your question. And having this amount of length, my client, have you seen this amount of length? How long? This is a lot of hair for my client.
A lot of hair.
A lot of hair. Because when was the last time that we really cut it? We were trimming it, but we haven't had.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And I haven't had this much hair in 6 years.
She hadn't had this much hair in 6 years. So, number one, that's a good indication that, number one, she can grow hair. So a lot of times it's not the issue of being able to grow hair. It's how much are you going to retain based on your hair care practices. So for her, I have suggested more of some protective styling. She said she'll get back with me on that. Because she likes to wear her hair how she likes to wear it. And if you are not one that is chasing length, I mean, her hair grew just fine with what she's doing, but the question is, how much are we retaining? And how healthy is the hair that we have?
Just looking at that little part you already cut looks even fuller.
Yeah, we're already looking better. We're looking good, girlie. And then, you get these grays come in here and they just want to act like they own the place. Yeah, so what you'll see is that the gray hair, if you are dealing with the same issue, you will see the gray hair at different stages of growth. And so it'll look like, oh my gosh, I've got split hairs or this and that. This is a whole different type of hair growing in. So it's going to be at different stages of growth. And so, yeah, if you are looking to gain density, yeah, you're going to have more haircuts than not, because you can actually be denser, but we just got to keep it where it needs to be. We can't let it get like that. So how long did you go before this cut? How long had it been, you think?
Maybe 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months for you.
Yeah.
We're and that's another thing that I'm changing up the frequency of haircuts for certain people. I am increasing that. If you are not a protective style person, and even if you are reassessing that hair more frequently, I think will keep you with more hair, because 4 or 5 months is a long time for split ends and things to cut all the way up, and then you're in for a more of a repair than a maintenance. And so I think under the old understanding, I was just like, quarterly, even 4 months, every 4 months for some people. That is probably more, it makes more sense to do that when you are in a protective style where you are not manipulating your hair as much. But for people that are in their hair weekly, detangling, styling, shingling, twirling, twisting, doing all the things,
That's me.
That's you? Yes. That's a lot of people. So my goal is to be more curative for each individual, because that was like a general thought process, and I was thinking of people's pocketbooks, of how often would they realistically come. No, this needs to be more individualized based on what it is that you're doing, not just some general concept. And so that's a lot of my focus now. How can I address your individual needs and what you're doing, and what do I need to adjust based on the fabric that I see in front of me? And that's the biggest thing that I think I've learned in the past, I would say, year and a half. And also to gain clients that have that same mindset, that they are willing to do what needs to be done, how I'm helping them to see it. We partner on this, but at the same time, if our goals align, you're not gonna be like, I don't want to do that. You know, I want to hold on to some strings. And so what I see that has a lot more damage is towards this front. And so that's going to be a challenge for you. That's why I'm suggesting going into a protective style, because once you can't see, you're not fretting about it.
Gotcha.
You're like, oh, my front is gone. You know.
I'm going to think of a protective style.
Yes, ma'am. But I just wanted you to gain more clarity as to why I suggested that, because I knew that front, when I shampooed your hair and I was doing your treatment, when I pull it up and I felt it, even in its curly state, I can see it. And I said, okay, when I blow dry this out, she gonna be in for some some interesting enlightenments. You know, what needs to be done. We're gonna have to have that conversation.
It's looking thicker though.
Yeah, it's looking thicker. Cause I told her, I said, I ain't gonna play with it now. She was like, oh Lord. I mean, what you paying me for? You want me to play with your hair? Get it healthy. Get it healthy. That's right.
It's just hair.
It's just hair, and we clearly see that you can grow it. But I see so many comments about people. See, that's why I don't let stylists trim my hair. She cut too much.
Exactly.
What you talking about? She cut too much for you. That client that sat in that chair agreed to that service. Destiny Fulfilled says, I used to do wash and goes weekly, but it dried out my hair and damaged my ends. Now I do twists, no hair added every 2 weeks. So what I will say to this, the product selection is what dried your hair out. I don't necessarily think that just the wash and go was the only issue. It was the products and also the high manipulation. You needed products that had a lot more moisture, and you needed products that had a lot more slip. You needed a whole lineup change in that. And I do agree, less manipulation would help you retain more length. But these are things that we've kind of come into understanding based on all of the situations that have occurred in the internet streets. And I don't mind addressing it. Like on my YouTube, I'm still team curly cuts, but we're gonna add in some blow dried assessments. You know, it just took some tweaking. It takes just some tweaking, and then I decided to join you guys on this hair growth journey, so I had to stop doing my bleaching. Cause some of y'all be like, you don't understand my struggle. You got long hair. Let me cut all the hair off. Let me start over with you. But I'm gonna be a wash and go girl. I can do some twists, but my twists don't. They're alright. They're alright. But I will be doing some protective styling. You hear my stomach? I thought it was right. Oh, child. I'm like, I'm supposed to be fasted. I ate too many carbs. My a sister in my congregation, she's Puerto Rican, and she done made me some plantains with the meat. That was the biggest high carb meal I've ever had. It had rice, the beans, and it was good too. And I forget the name of the dish. If y'all know what the name of the dish is, please inform us, sister, because she fried them plantains with that meat in between them. I think it's some cheese in there. But, girl. Yeah, it's a lot of gray. But it was good, but it messed up my low carb diet.
It's looking a whole lot better.
She's saying it's looking good, y'all. It's looking better.
And it also hit me when I style it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, styling is definitely going to be an easier situation once you get you a good trim on board. Look at you now. Are y'all able to see the growth? The change in the density is it's about to be epic. So I would, if you continue with your same regimen of weekly hair care and manipulation, probably I would recommend you to come back within 8 to 12 weeks. Just to stay on top and to continue our growth and retention. Hold your head straight. Thank you.
Because initially I came in for cut it all off.
Yeah, she showed me this picture of a tight taper. And then after we started discussing it, kind of came off the... We were like, not quite headed there yet.
Cause see, I only wash it like every 7 to 14 days.
7 to 14 days?
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. That's not too bad.
He's a good looking picture.
So when people talk about having a trim, I was taught by one of the best trimmers, Lisa, and you know she ain't play. They would call her sister Happy.
But she gonna cut it now.
She gonna cut it. But the thing with my girl, she wouldn't give you no warning. You gonna just be bald by the time you leave. You be like, Lord, now wait a minute now. She was like, ooh, don't it look better? And it did. And everybody's hair was healthy looking. So she didn't play either. Every stylist that I learned from over there was about healthy hair. Whether it was, and that was in a relaxed salon that specialized in relaxers, but everybody had healthy hair.
No, she's gonna cut it automatically.
Oh yeah. And so I learned to be very thorough. The stuff that you see on the internet where they just going across this right here, that is not a thorough cut. Maybe they did some editing, but clearly they are not thorough. I'm talking about a 360-degree cut. Lady Tess asked, what kind of protective style do you recommend? The protective style that I recommend is the one that leaves your hair in better, at the very least, the same condition that you put it in. So 2-strand twist, leaving them in, not taking them out and twisting and untwisting every single night. Those are protective style, true protective styling. There are some other ones. You can get a braid down for a wig if you want to, but you don't live in the wig, you don't sleep in the wig, you don't do wiggy things. You actually have hair care underneath. People think that all people that have wigs are not taking care of their hair. A lot of them are not, but a lot of them do. Now, they don't have Beyonce's length hair, because a lot of times, because they have not had true hair care. She has true hair care. And so, I have even contemplated for certain clients doing for my length retention clients, and this is something that they don't even know yet, trying to find something for them, because I know they're gonna go out there and get some braids, but starting to offer a service that will give them the look of braids, but in a safer way. But I'm still flushing that service out so I can make sure that I do it. But if you get like something like that, the time that you stay in it, the equal time you stay out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you're in a good protective style for 2 months, something like that, you need to be 2 months out. Let your hair breathe. So what style are we doing? You know, what's included is a wash and go. What are you wanting today?
I don't know. Maybe, well, probably just to go ahead and do the, just the basic wash and go. Because I want to see how it looks versus if we coil it. Coil it up. As long as we can get it to be tight.
Let's see if it's another question. Shakita M15 says, I like what you said about less manipulation, so I crocheted the top of my hair and used clip-ins for the rest. Absolutely. Good morning, Teacher Lincea. Do you recommend Sacred products? I haven't used them. The reviews say that they are good, especially the Reconstructor. Will you be showing her finished style? Perhaps. Perhaps, if I have time. But when you are more of a health-focused stylist, once you get the foundation of healthy hair care, and this is what I try to get my length retention clients to understand, health is the focus. When health is the focus of your hair, your style eventually will become effortless. You can wear just about any style because of the fact that that hair is healthy. If you're style focused at the outset of your journey, which I think many of us, including myself, we was all about getting them curls popping. That's style focused. And so we lose what's most important is the health of the hair when you're just concerned about making the hair last, making sure those curls are popping by any means necessary. Yeah. And so on my YouTube channel, I'm actually going to have that as one of my conversations, because my wash and growers now, I'm encouraging them to, you know, enjoy their hair, but let's revisit how we do them. So we can focus on making sure our hair is healthy. Just the feel of your hair makes is different. So with a 360 haircut, you are going into the interior of the hair. You're not just doing the perimeter. You ain't doing that foolishness that you see. This is a real solid foundation that I'm trying to create for her come up. So when I say I'm not playing with it, I'm not. I'm not trying to create a shape. I mean, she's going to have a shape just because. I mean, will it be the shape that she wants? I don't know. You know, I told her that after we completed your healthy haircut, that After that, we could talk about shape with what's left. What is left of so sometimes y'all see me going over a section more than once because I am a perfectionist and I'm going to make sure that it is 360 degrees of perfection. And I'm going back and I'll check, see if I need to readjust. Because most good hair cutters will cross-check their work. And so when you cross-check, you'll pull that hair up in different lengths, different directions to make sure that you're not missing any critical part of the hair. Every strand, every angle gets hit, and so that foundation is indeed solid. And it's connected. So as I work my way around, I'm connecting the back to the front. And you can see how that hair wants to tangle up, give me the business. checking for symmetry, making sure that I leave more hair on one side than the other. Sweating too. Hot in here.
Yeah, hot. These hot flashes ain't heavy.
Mm-hmm. We are done. We are done with that. Pull you off, pull me off. God. Whew. Girl, these seasons we go through. That feel good? I put the dryer on for you guys so you can get a break. So I'm going to get you to stand up and kind of shake your hair out for me. Yes. Now you look at it and see how you feel about it. Somebody said it looks fuller already.
I know, right? That's what I said.
Yes, yes. Yes, it does. And we got to not compare ourselves to other people and their journey. We want your hair. I'm not trying to get your hair to look like somebody else's hair. Your hair is going to be as dense as it's going to be. It's going to grow. But our goal is to keep it to its thickest point possible as often as we can, so we can continue to grow it out as thick as possible. Does that make sense? Okay. Somebody says, I would love to see how this translates into a wash and go. Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. But the beautiful thing about it is that a cut done in a blow-dried state can always be tweaked when it's in its curly state if she wanted more shaping. So it's not a deal breaker that you get your hair done in a blow-dried state. If you want more shaping, you can get it done. Yeah, it's not an issue. Not an issue at all. So we're going to take it to the back and go ahead and get her. And I think going for a fuller, softer wash and go. She likes stuff to last and to. She's very polished with her wash and goes. They are very clean. Very clean. And a whole bunch of fluff. They are very well defined. So we're gonna see. We'll see if I can convince her otherwise, since you're doing it anyway. I am Solemn 8 says it looks really healthy now. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. from hanging in there. And wait a minute. I hope that this has enlightened you, giving you some pointers, something that you can use. And I appreciate my client for sharing her journey with you and her education, her appointment with you guys. And so, hey, make your way on over to YouTube, because I'm not doing all of this fun stuff over on IG all the time now. I'm sharing the love over there as well. So follow me on the Royal Treatment YouTube as well. So I hope you have a beautiful, today's Friday, right? Thank you. Yeah, I finally got to my copper that I was trying to do initially. So, and it's growing back in, because anybody that saw my live the other day, they was like, girl, you so dramatic. But I was bald, but it's growing in now. So, and if any of you have questions, feel free to DM me. If you want to sit in my chair, I will be in Atlanta soon, next month, and I will be announcing those dates coming up shortly. So, look to see you guys. So this is the middle of me styling her hair with a wash and go. All the products are in. This is her hair dried. As you can see, her density doesn't seem as medium because that hair is so silky and smooth. It shrinks to 70%, and she's actually very okay with having this level of shrinkage. She embraces it, and she's good.